Hello, friends, and welcome to Jewels of Truth. My name is Daniel Fontenot. Today I will be reading a letter written by Abraham Lincoln in which he exposes the Jesuits and the Catholic Church. Now, before I read this letter, I just want to mention that there is a man that some of you may know and be familiar with. His name is Taylor Marshall. I read an article by him today in which he wants to make America Catholic. You know, the saying goes today, make America great again, where there are some people who want to make America Catholic. Well, let's see what Abraham Lincoln said about the Civil War and the Catholic Church. You know, there are people, and you know, there's this man who wrote a book entitled 50 Years in the Church of Rome. It was Charles Chiniquy who wrote that book. He was a Catholic priest for 25 years in the Church of Rome, and he told of his experience in the Catholic Church and how the Lord led him out of the Catholic Church. Yet there are some people out there, Catholics, who will say, oh, that's a bunch of conspiracy theory. Well, let's see what these people say about Abraham Lincoln's. Are we going to say that this is false? Abraham Lincoln was delusional. He didn't know what he was talking about? Let's see. So Abraham Lincoln said on June the 8th, 1864, this war, speaking of the Civil War, this war would never have been possible without the sinister influence of the Jesuits. We owe it to popery that we now see our land reddened with the blood of her noblest sons. Though there were great differences of opinion between the South and the North on the question of slavery, neither Jeff Davis, who was the president of the Confederacy, nor any one of the leading men of the Confederacy would have dared to attack the North had they not relied on the promises of the Jesuits that, under the mask of democracy, the money and the arms of the Roman Catholic, even the arms of France, were at their disposal if they would attack us. I pity the priests, the bishops, and the monks of Rome in the United States when the people realize that they are, in great part, responsible for the tears and the blood shed in this war. The later, the more terrible will the retribution be. Now take that in. Let that soak in when he says, the later, the more terrible will be the retribution. The retribution hasn't occurred yet. He's implying that there will be a retribution. I conceal what I know on that subject from the knowledge of the nation. For if the people knew the whole truth, this war would turn into a religious war, and it would at once take a tenfold more savage and bloody character. It would become merciless, as all religious wars are. It would become a war of extermination on both sides. The Protestants of both the North and the South would surely unite to exterminate the priests and the Jesuits if they could hear what Professor Morse, that's Samuel Morse, the inventor of the Morse code, if they could hear what Professor Morse has said to me of the plots made in the city of Rome to destroy this republic, and if they could learn how the priests, the nuns, and the monks, which daily land on our shores, under the pretext of preaching their religion, instructing the people in their schools, taking care of the sick in the hospitals, are nothing else but the emissaries of the Pope, of Napoleon, and of the other despots of Europe, to undermine our institutions, alienate the hearts of our people from our Constitution and our laws, destroy our schools, and prepare a reign of anarchy here, as they have done in Ireland, in Mexico, in Spain, and wherever there are any people who want to be free, etc. You want to know who are the ones responsible for alienating some of the people of the United States from our Constitution? Look to the Jesuits. Abraham Lincoln also said this, quote, "I do not pretend to be a prophet, but though not a prophet, I see a very dark cloud on our horizon, and that dark cloud is coming from Rome. It is filled with tears of blood. It will rise and increase till its flanks will be torn by a flash of lightning, followed by a fearful peal of thunder. Then a cyclone such as the world has never seen will pass over this country, spreading ruin and desolation from north to south. Neither I nor you, but our children will see those things." Yeah, Abraham Lincoln was not a prophet, but he was surely predicting the future correctly. And this second statement that I read comes from a book entitled 6 Months in the White House, page 86, quoted by Charles Chineke in his book, 50 Years in the Church of Rome, the Wycliffe Press, Protestant Truth Society, 1885, page 75. So there you have it. This is what Abraham Lincoln thought of the Catholic Church and the Jesuits. And I think his word could be truly relied upon. So if there are any Catholics watching this video, then you need to consider this very, very carefully. Very, very carefully. Open your eyes and ask God by His Holy Spirit to anoint your eyes with that heavenly eye salve, that you may be enabled to have spiritual discernment to detect sin and error under any guise. If you agree and appreciate with this content, then tap that like button so that it can be sent far and wide to those who are hungering for the truth as it is in Jesus. And if you have any comments or questions, then by all means place them at the bottom of this video. And if you haven't subscribed, we would highly encourage you to do so. Thank you for joining us here at Jewels of Truth. Have a good day in the Lord.